Last time on Mini Jam, we kicked off the 2025 season with an event featuring the Series East Tour trucks. It was an incredible show with each truck battling hard to start off strong on our road to the Mini Jam World Finals. Tonight, we're going to get our first taste of the trucks from the Series West Tour. You will not want to miss this.
Taking shots at the enemy, I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, but you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic groove up.
Hello everyone, thanks for tuning back in to another episode of the Mini Jam 2025 season, where we will have 2 tours of trucks competing in a point series of 4 events each to punch their ticket to the Mini Jam World Finals in June. We kick things off with the E Series, and tonight we're excited to introduce you all to the trucks of the Mini Jam Series West. Team Tomfoolery are pulling up with this awesome retro Excalibur machine. This truck has made a statement on the scene lately, and we're excited to see what it'll do in Mini Jam. Next up, we have Bakugan Dragonoid, one of the coolest looking trucks in the field, but make no mistake, this truck can throw it down. One of the most iconic trucks out there, and El Toro Loco will be competing in this tour. I fully expect this truck to show us why they call it the Crazy Bull. Put your fins together for Megalodon, who is ready to take a bite out of the competition. Next up, we have the People's Truck. The Advanced Auto Parts Grinder will be making its debut in Mini Jam. And now we have Thor. This has to be one of my personal favorite looking trucks. The Marvel Comics Thor is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see what it brings to the table. And here we have Metal Militia. This truck is known for putting on some of the craziest performances that we've ever seen. We have Team Gravedigger bringing in a legacy truck with Gravedigger, the legend. Monster Energy has been a staple of Mini Jam since the early days, and we're glad to see it as part of our first points tour. And finally, we have the black and blue wrecking machine, Son of a Digger. Tonight's event will feature 2 competitions, where each truck can earn up to 10 points. JCB Racing will be a bracket-style competition, where each race winner will be decided by the best 2 out of 3. Freestyle will feature a 90-second time limit, where each truck will be judged on a scale of 0 to 10. We're going to be starting off tonight with JCB Racing. In round 1, we're going to see Monster Energy take on Excalibur, Son of a Digger is going to face Megalodon, Bakugan Dragonoid is going to race Metal Militia, El Toro will race Gravedigger the Legend, and the final race is going to feature Grinder taking on Thor. Now let's jump right into the action. Now let's get started with our first race, Monster Energy versus Excalibur. Looks like Excalibur clean off the starting line, but a little slow in that first turn. Monster Energy is making up some speed, but Monster Energy spins out a little bit in the first turn, and it looks like Excalibur is going to take the win. In the replay, you can see it. Excalibur just barely edges out Monster Energy. We got both trucks lined back up for race number 2. Monster Energy with a whole shot coming out the start of the race, clips the freestyle jump. And Excalibur clips a freestyle jump as well in the corner. These trucks are all out of control. Monster Energy spins out, but Excalibur spun out as well. Monster Energy is going to take advantage and get the win. The first race was close. The second race was wild. Let's see who will advance to round 2. Good clean start for both trucks coming off of the starting line. And it looks like Monster Energy is sweeping through those turns, keeping up a lot of speed. Excalibur takes the last turn way too wide. Monster Energy is going to advance to round 2. We got Son of a Digger and Megalodon lined up for this next race. Megalodon a little swirly off the top of the roller, and then Son of a Digger spins out. Looks like both trucks are having some trouble. It's going to come down to the end. They both spin out in the final turn, but Megalodon comes out on top. Pretty abysmal race for Son of a Digger. Both trucks are set back up for race number 2. Much better start for both of them coming off the start, but Son of a Digger goes over in the corner. He has recovered, but he is just everywhere on this racetrack. Megalodon doing quite a bit better. He's going to finish the race first. I don't even think Son of a Digger had a legal pass there. Our next pair is Bakugan Dragonoid and Metal Militia. Man, Metal Militia looking fast off the start. Faster those turns, you can already tell this is going to be a difficult truck to beat. And he just picks up the victory with ease. Bakugan really had no shot in that race. Bakugan's going to have to do a lot better here to avoid the clean sweep. A little bit more competitive starting off, but Metal Militia is just so fast in getting through those turns. Metal Militia once again just smokes Bakugan Dragonoid, and he's going to advance to the next round. Now it's time for El Toro to take on Gravedigger the Legend. Smooth start for both trucks. El Toro smooth through that first turn. Looks like it's going to come down to the end. Very close race so far. It looks like El Toro is going to take the lead. Gravedigger the Legend with a hard crash at the end. Both trucks are staged back up. Let's go. Pretty even coming off the starting line. Gravedigger the Legend is fast through that turn. El Toro also fast, but Gravedigger the Legend has put on a clinic here. He crosses the finish line first. Both trucks with some big air. It's all tied up. It's 1-1. Let's see who's going to advance. Looks like El Toro got hung up on the roller to start off the race. That is not going to work out in his favor. And Gravedigger the Legend swooping through those turns. Another excellent run. El Toro is going to get eliminated. And now our final round one race, Thor versus Grinder. Both trucks pretty even off the start. Thor smooth through that first turn, but he clips the freestyle jump, and now Grinder's gonna take the win, and Thor comes up right behind him. We've got the trucks lined back up. And now Grinder clips that freestyle jump, ends up getting turned around. Thor with a really good run. He's gonna easily take this one, and Grinder's on his lid. Each truck has won one race, one will advance to round two. And Grinder already flipping over in the berm. He has recovered, but Thor is very far ahead in this race. Grinder breakdancing over in the corner, and Thor is going to be the winner. With round one in the books, this is a look at our brackets for round two. Monster Energy is going to take on El Toro, who's returning as the fast loser. Megalodon's going to face Metal Militia, and Gravedigger the Legend is going to take on Thor. El Toro and Monster Energy are lined up. It's time for round two racing. Pretty even off the start, Monster Energy goes and clips the freestyle jump. He recovers, but he flips over in the corner. El Toro Loco is going to cruise to a victory. Let's see if Monster Energy can have a better outing in race number two. He definitely gets the whole shot coming off the first jump. He clips the ramp again and goes over a second time. Going to be another easy victory for El Toro. Definitely not what Monster Energy wanted. Tries to come back in the race, but flips over once again. Megalodon has its works cut out for him, going up against Metal Militia, our fastest truck so far. Megalodon already with the mistakes up in the wall. Does not look like a good race for Megalodon. Metal Militia takes the race handily. But Megalodon, with some fireworks at the end, is going to take a mistake-free run and beat Metal Militia. Let's see if Megalodon can pull it off. He is in that wall once again, but it doesn't mess him up as much as it did before. Looks like both trucks are slow and spinning out in the turn. Oh no, it's going to be a race to see who can win the race at the end. And Metal Militia will cross the line first. What a crazy race. And now the last matchup of round two. Let's see who will advance to the semifinals. Thor and Gravedigger the Legend both looking pretty good in this race so far. Gravedigger the Legend clips the burn a little bit. Thor spins out in the turn, and Gravedigger the Legend is going to take the victory. Thor flips over on the last ramp. Thor had a solid round one. He's going to need to bounce back in order to advance. Still pretty even through that first berm. Gravedigger the Legend takes that first turn really wide. Thor having a great run so far. He's going to win this one. It's going to come down to race number three. Each truck has one victory apiece. Let's see who's going to advance. Pretty close race so far. Both trucks doing good in that first turn. Comes down to the final turn. Thor's in the wall. Gravedigger the Legend spins out. And Thor is going to go to the semifinals. Gravedigger the Legend just pile drives that middle jump. Round two is in the books, and we're proceeding to the semifinals. In the first race, we're going to have El Toro taking on Monster Energy. Gravedigger the Legend was initially going to be the fast qualifier in that matchup, but due to mechanical issues, Monster Energy is going to come back. And then finally, we're going to have Metal Militia taking on Thor. Our first semifinal matchup is a round two rematch, El Toro Loco versus Monster Energy. Both trucks pretty even through that first turn, but Monster Energy puts the pedal to the metal through the straightaway, and Monster Energy is going to take the win. El Toro just slips up in that final turn. Monster Energy is up 1-0. Let's see if El Toro can battle back. So quick through the berm is Monster Energy. El Toro is trying to fight back into this race, but Monster Energy is just too far ahead. Looks like Monster Energy is going to take the win and go to the racing finals. This last semifinal matchup is going to determine who's going to meet Monster Energy in the racing finals. Metal Militia still looking bad fast, speeding through the straightaway, little swirly in that last turn, but he is going to pick up the semifinal victory. And now Metal Militia is just one racing victory away from the finals. Thor not going to go down easily, pretty quick through those first turns, but you see Metal Militia makes up so much time in that straightaway, soars across the finish line. Good run by Thor, but Metal Militia was even better. It all comes down to the racing finals, Monster Energy versus Metal Militia. Metal Militia has looked virtually unstoppable this entire night. I don't think he's dropped a single race, whereas Monster Energy did get knocked out in round 2, came back in the semifinals as the fast loser, and was able to make it to the finals, but boy does he have his work cut out for him. Let's see who's going to take home the racing victory. And then there was 2. Monster Energy and Metal Militia have advanced to the racing finals. Monster Energy has looked good, Metal Militia's looked dominant. Let's see who's gonna win. Metal Militia once again so crisp through the turns. Monster Energy trying to keep up. Metal Militia messes up in the turn, but Monster Energy ends up on the tailgate, and Metal Militia will take the first win. Both trucks are lined back up. Can Monster Energy even this race back up, or is Metal Militia gonna be our racing champion?
Ready, set, go.
Both trucks so fast off the starting line. Into the turn, Metal Militia looking great as usual. Monster Energy just cannot keep up with Metal Militia. Metal Militia is going to be a racing champion for tonight. Man, this has to be one of the best racing performances we've seen on Mini Jam from top to bottom. Metal Militia brought it and ends up winning it all. With racing in the books, let's take a look at the leaderboard. And remember, the top 6 trucks from this tour at the end of the season are going to advance to the World Finals, so these points are key. Metal Militia is going to take the first 10 points by being the racing winner, followed by Monster Energy, Thor, and El Toro. The bottom of the list, though, those guys are going to have to make up some big ground in order to stay competitive and hopefully make it to the World Finals with Excalibur, Son of a Digger, and Bakugan. And now it's time for Mini Jam Freestyle. We're going to kick things off with the newly debuting Excalibur truck. Unfortunately, did not have a great showing in racing. Looked promising early, but unfortunately just had some steering issues that the truck could not overcome. Going to hope to make up for it here in Freestyle to make it up those point standings. He's pretty low. I think he's dead last right now. So going to try to make up for it here. And he's lined up for the big berm jump, hits it, and then skids the down ramp. Going to make its way over to the other side of the berms, attacking those racing lanes, and goes right into the wall. I think those steering issues may still be plaguing this truck. Won't matter a ton in freestyle. If you can point and shoot, you'll be good. But he goes off the ramp, gets a weird bounce, sidewalls it, and unfortunately ends up stuck on the lid. It's not going to be a good night for Excalibur. Had a couple of nice hits during this freestyle and a really cool sidewall, but just could not come up with a save. He's going to score a 3. Next up, we have the People's Truck, the Advanced Auto Parts Grinder. Super excited for this truck to be making its Mini Jam debut. Definitely one of the more popular throwback trucks on the circuit. Repping those Advanced Auto Parts and checkered flags on the back of the truck. Just overall a really good looking truck. He's going to circle the track and he gets some nice air off that racing lane. Kind of what Excalibur wanted to do, but just gets much bigger air. But oh no, he goes right over, bounces off of the step up, tries to drive it on the roof. But unfortunately, I think that's going to end things for Grinder. It's only going to score him a 1.7. We've had 2 really short runs so far. Hopefully we can get a truck out here that can last a little bit. Next up, we're going to have Bakugan Dragonoid. I just love the way this truck looks. And he starts off with some big air right off of the step up. Goes into the backflip ramp a little bit, and then comes off the other side of the step up with some nice air. And he hits the opposite side of the racing ramp, pretty much greases it into the berm, and oh, a little bicycle, but stays on all 4s. Gets some nice air off of those freestyle jumps. Overall, a pretty solid run so far. And you can see, rather than launching it off of the racing jump, he just glides over it and then hits the gas on the down ramp. Really creative move right there. He started off with some big air, nice little slap bully there, but we've not seen any lately. There he goes. You got to keep up the big air. You got to keep up the big momentum in these runs. And he's going to go for the backflip. And he saves it. Oh, no. He's on his roof. He's rocking. And he's back on all fours. And he saves it again. Pretty crazy save right there for Bakugan Dragonoid. I thought he was done. He had other plans. And he stuffs a backflip into the berm, froze in midair, but still was somehow able to recover the truck. And he tries to hit that jammer stack, gets a weird hit off of that. And another save. This truck is going wild here in freestyle. It is saves galore. And he's going to have to end it with something big here. Goes for the 8-pack, lands on the roof, and he still saves it. We're going to give him one more hit here. He's just going to go crazy, wheelies off of the step up, and then he plants the truck on the roof. That was an incredible run by Bakugan Dragonoid. Tons of highlights to look at here. So many saves, too many saves to count, honestly. I could barely keep up with it. But that run is going to put him in the lead with a score of a 9.1. Well, we thought we were starting off slow, and then Bakugan came out and set the bar very high with a 9.1, but now we have Son of a Digger, who is known to throw down in the freestyle competition. I'm always anxious to see what this truck is going to do on the mini jam course. He's going to take a nice parade lap around the track, and we're going to see what we have in store. This Son of a Digger freestyle hits the step up right off the bat, noses the truck into the ground, kind of gets stuck on that 8-pack ramp there, but he quickly recovers off of it, flips off of the side of the step up, and still saves it. And he's on his lid. Oh no, he's driving on the lid. Can he save the truck? Still in the throttle, and he's going to drive the truck on the roof. He is not stopping. And he gets the truck back on all fours. Incredible save by Son of a Digger. Was not going to let the freestyle end just like that. And you always see in his freestyle runs the momentum is always top notch. He is hitting so many jumps per second, more jumps per second than pretty much any other truck here. And he saves the truck once again. And he just skies the truck across the track off of that step up. That's definitely the big air jump here tonight. He's on his lid. Clean sidewall save once again. This guy does not want this freestyle run to end. Now this is what we come to expect for a Son of a Digger freestyle. He's got about 20 seconds left. Big momentum, big jump, sky wheelies it, and unfortunately gets on the lid of the truck. Does not look like he's going to be saving this one. Definitely the best momentum so far here in freestyle. The only thing you can say as a negative about this run is that he didn't fill the clock like Bakugan. As such, the score is going to be an 8.4, which would put him in second place. Whew, and now it's going to be Megalodon for freestyle. Freestyle is really heating up. We had 2 not so good runs to start off, and then we had 2 awesome runs in Bakugan and Son of a Digger. We're going to see where Megalodon's going to place here. He's going to start off by circling that jump. Definitely don't want to find yourself there getting circled by the world's largest shark. Starting off his freestyle with a couple of decent air jumps. A nice sky wheelie. But man, after those saves that Bakugan had, that's something you can't really plan for. He had a nice little save there and some big air with a sky wheelie. Good momentum here and a backflip off the 8-pack. Lands on the roof and is somehow able to recover the truck. Here we go. Megalodon is right in there with the action. Still want to see some better momentum, and you still want to see some big air out of Megalodon. And there it goes, right on cue. Huge air off the step up, and then a double backflip off the side of the backflip ramp. I thought he was stuck there, but he said, you know what, screw it. Let's put the pedal to the metal. And he got a nice hit off of it. Then he's flipping, and unfortunately, looks like he's going to end up on his lid. Pretty decent run there for Megalodon. It's a nice surprise backflip here, and his score is going to be a 7.2. Now that we're halfway through the freestyle competition, let's take a quick look at our scores so far. You can see Bakugan Dragonoid at the very top with a 9.1, followed by Son of a Digger with an 8.4. Then at the bottom of the list, you have Excalibur and Grinder with a 3 and 1.7 respectively. Bakugan Dragonoid has set the bar super high for the freestyle competition so far, and these last 5 trucks are going to have to put up one heck of a run if they want to supplant him at the top of the rankings. The next truck to take the freestyle course is going to be Gravedigger the Legend. Just a nice retro throwback truck. And he's going to start right off the bat. No time wasted, just goes straight for the first jump in front of him from his pit stall. And he has some nice air, good momentum so far in this run. Some good cross-threading as well, making his way across the track so quickly, making every jump count. And he gets some big air right off of that middle step-up jump. Goes after the jammer, ends up on the tailgate, and he is able to save it. Man, we've seen some awesome saves tonight, and Gravedigger the Legend continues with that tradition. Awesome air off of the big jump. Oh man, this is some great freestyle action so far here tonight, and we're only halfway through. Completely greases that jump from the racing lane to the step-up. And man, just smooth hits all across the board for Gravedigger the Legend, but he ends up flipping right as I said that. Can't help but think that I somehow jinxed him. Trying to maneuver the truck back on the lid. Doesn't look like it's going to work out for him. This was definitely one of the smoother performances that we saw tonight. Just smooth hits going each direction across the track, along with a pretty incredible save. I have no idea how he pulled this off, hitting it in reverse, putting the truck back on all fours. But unfortunately, that last hit, he just tempted fate too much by hitting all those big jumps and flipped over. The score for Gravedigger the Legend is going to be a 7.5. Coming up next for freestyle, we have El Toro Loco. We got El Toro on the Team Scream chassis, you can see there. And this is already a great looking truck on that Team Scream chassis. It looks even better. Looks like he's going to go right for the big stuff, going to line himself up in front of that backflip jump. And I think we're going to see this crazy bull air it out. Holy smokes, huge air from El Toro right off the bat. That might be the biggest air that we've seen so far. Is he going to flip it over? He saves it. Big air and a great save. Awesome way to start off his freestyle. Little combo move there as well. And he ends up nosing it in, cartwheels the truck and saves it again. El Toro really making his hits count. Unfortunately, flips the truck over way too quickly. That's going to be a theme here tonight. Some really awesome moves. Everyone is going all in freestyle, but sometimes you just take it a little too far, flip the truck. But it looks like he's going to get flipped back over. This is going to be just for the fans. This is not a scored run. This is literally just for y'all back home, and there he goes with a backflip. Sidewalls it. Can he save the truck still? He's sidewalling again, and he does save it. Some big air off the 8-pack. This is just for the fans. This is not a scored run. The scores have been turned in. He hits the backflip ramp, throws the tire off the truck, and ends up on the lid. That was just for you guys back home. That was an awesome way to end the run. Unfortunately, it didn't count in regulation. So keeping that in mind, El Toro's score is only going to be a 4. And now it's time for our racing winner, Metal Militia. This truck was just unbelievably dominant throughout the entire racing competition. Let's see if he can transfer that look over to freestyle. I'm really excited to see what this truck is going to come up with. This is one of the trucks known for some crazy hits, some crazy freestyle, some crazy moves. And it looks like he's ready to go. Right off the bat, full speed into the jump in front of him. Little bit of a Leduc leap, you might say. And he is all momentum on this track. The speed that you saw in racing, he's keeping up here in freestyle. Breakdances the truck a little bit and ends up saving it. Man, this is just crazy of a freestyle so far. Keeping up a lot of speed, a lot of momentum. Goes for the jammer stack and then hits the big jump. These aren't normal track conditions. Usually the dirt is a bit more wet. This is a pretty dry track that we have here for this event. You can tell by all the roosters that these trucks are throwing, just dirt flying everywhere. But it is definitely contributing to some awesome freestyle with these trucks sliding around. It's got about 40 seconds left, hits that jump, and he recovers the truck, puts it back on all fours. And the speed that he is keeping across this track is just absolutely ridiculous. Flinging dirt everywhere. He's on line up for a backflip. Almost gets a double backflip, but lands it right on the roof. I don't know if I've ever seen a backflip go that quickly and end that abruptly with him just stuffing the truck on the roof. This was a really entertaining run. Once again, the only negative you can say about it is that he didn't fill the clock. The score is going to be an 8.1. And now it's time for the Marvel Comics Thor truck. I keep saying this and I'm going to say it again. This is just a beautiful truck. One of my favorite designs that we've ever seen here on this track. This truck made it all the way to semifinals in racing, which is definitely an accomplishment when you had Metal Militia in this field pretty much smoking everybody. It's nice for this truck to make it so far, but he wants to follow up with a good freestyle, and there he goes with a cartwheel and saves the truck. Noses the truck in, endos it, and once again, another save. He's going to go right for that step up, lands on his roof, oh no, and he's able to power out of it, puts the truck back on all four wheels again, kind of reminiscent of the Bakugan run, just save after save after save. Things are starting off really nicely here for Thor. He's going to go after the racing lane, keeping up some decent momentum with some decent air as well, and he ends up right on the tailgate, nice little sky wheelie there, and he is not able to save the truck there, puts it on its roof. You can hear him, he's in the throttle, he's trying to do what he can, but he is not going to save this truck. The score for Thor is going to be a 6.5. Had some really nice hits in this run, especially to start off, had tons of saves, but unfortunately just flipped the truck over a bit too early. It has been one heck of a night of freestyle so far. It is time for our final freestyle competitor, Monster Energy, and I am getting goosebumps, literal goosebumps right now at the thought of what this guy is going to do on this track. Made it to the racing finals, got taken out by Metal Militia. You know that had to sting, being the runner-up in racing. He wants to make up for it here in freestyle, and he skies the truck across the track, endos it, but keeps it on all fours. Hits the racing lane with some nice momentum, doubles it up over the 8-pack there, and just soaring the truck across the track. Goes for the step up and gets a nice sky wheelie. And he endos the truck, keeps it on all fours again. This momentum is very reminiscent of Metal Militia, but I almost feel like these moves are a little bit more spectacular with the air and some of the saves that he is getting. Just great momentum hitting almost every jump on the track. He's going for a backflip, and he goes for a moonwalk right after it, pops the truck back up, and then hits a big air right afterwards. This has been a great run so far, maybe the best so far that we've seen. With 40 seconds left to go, flips the truck, gets it back on its wheels. Let's see if he can finish strong and perhaps take the freestyle lead. This be another backflip here for Monster Energy. Does the backflip, but oh no, he ends up on his lid trying to get the truck back over. Does not look like it's going to work out. And that was an awesome, awesome run by Monster Energy. Unfortunately, just was not able to fill the clock. He's going to play second here in freestyle with an 8.8. And with that being said, congratulations to Bakugan Dragonoid for taking home the Freestyle Championship tonight. You can see that there are a lot of heavy hitters tonight. A lot of the guys in that top four put up really good freestyles, but what separated the good from the great was Bakugan Dragonoid filling his freestyle time, and you can see the judges rewarded him for that. And now that we have freestyle all wrapped up, let's take a look at our point standing so far for the Series West Mini Jam Tour. You can see that Monster Energy is at the top of the list with 18 total points, finished runner-up in both racing and freestyle tonight. So overall, a really good showing by Monster Energy. Next is Metal Militia with 17 points, then Bakugan Dragonoid with 13. I love seeing that there are a lot of trucks kind of clustered in these next few positions. There's a tie at the 4th place between Gravedigger the Legend and Thor, both having 12 points, and then a 3-way tie for 6th place with El Toro, Megalodon, and Son of a Digger. What that means is that these trucks are going to be really tight, really close to each each other, trying to compete for points in these next few competitions in order to earn a bid to the Mini Jam World Finals. Conversely, both Grinder and Excalibur have a lot of work to do if they want to get back in the hunt. But that's all that we've got for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another Mini Jam episode. The 2025 season is looking awesome so far, and we're excited for more shows coming from both of these tours that are going to blow you all away. Before you head out, if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all again very soon.